Are on. Okay, we're continuing Chazarah, Baruch Hashem, and we are up to, yesterday we began the Chazarah from post-Pesach, which was the bottom of Chavei Amid Beis till the top of Chavav Amid Aleph, and that is where we left off. We spoke about Isaac b'mitzvah, Patim min ha-mitzvah, the line of Rav Yisrael Glili. We spoke about the difference between one going l'dvar rishos and one going l'dvar mitzvah. If one is going l'dvar rishos, then he's only patur while he's doing the dvar rishos. What was the patur? The patur was teishvu ke'in taduru. Whereas when one is doing a mitzvah, he is patur when he is doing it and when he is not, because his mind is preoccupied with the mitzvah. And we concluded with the two reasons why one who is watching a field does not need to be in a sukkah, either teishvu ke'in taduru or pirza kara leganav. You're attracting ganavim by sitting in a sukkah and doing a mitzvah. We said that the chiluk between the two of them is the mante karya de peri. You're watching just a pile of produce, which is something that you could do while being in the sukkah. Says the Gemara, we're smack in the middle, Chav Vav Amid Aleph, Chaylin Umisham Sheya. One who is sick and their attendants, Tanu Rabban, Chayle Sha'amru, this sick person that we are discussing, Loi Chayle Sheyesh B'Isakana, Ela Afilu, that's Pashir Chayle Sheyesh B'Isakana, someone that is fatally ill. Ela Afilu, Chayle She'ein B'Isakana, Afilu, Chash Be'enov, Ve'afilu Chash Be'Raishi. So we are lowering the bar. One who is bedridden, one who is not functioning properly, one with a bad headache, one with a bad eye ache, is included in this patur of Chayle. Not of mitztaer, as last night Rav Menachem, you pointed out so eloquently, that the patur of mitztaer we're going to see only is for the person himself, is not also for the attendant. The patur of chayle is a larger patur, a more encompassing patur, also includes those attending to the sick. Amar Rav Shimon ben Gamliel, Chavav Amid Aleph, we're about, 17 lines to the bottom. First word of the line is Pa'am. Amar Rashbag Pamachas Chashti Be'enai Bekisaria. I was in Caesarea and I had an eye ache. Veheter Rav Yossi Berivi, and Rav Yossi Berivi permitted me Lishain Ani, that I should sleep Umishamshi and my attendants Chutz L'Sukkah, outside of a sukkah, proving the point that we just said, that one who is sick, even a mere eye ache, has a heter for he and his attendants. Rav Sharla Ravacha Bardala Lemigna Bekilsa V'Sukkah. Rav permitted Ravacha Bardala to sleep in a canopy inside a sukkah. Why? Misham Baki, because of the mosquitoes. He was mitzayer, so he's really pater from the sukkah. So said Rav, you're pater, you could be in the canopy. Meaning, are you really in the sukkah? The pashut of the Gemara is no, you're not in the sukkah, you're under a canopy, but you're allowed to be because of tsar. We pointed out, parenthetically, that we're going to see, and it seems clear from the Gemara that even when you're pater, there's a milah to be in the sukkah in a way that you're under a canopy, which of course is a little bit interesting. Like, what are you doing? You're putting the tarp on and you're staying in the sukkah. But we mentioned that we're going to see in the first parak of Mir Hashem a little bit more about this. And the Gemara continues with the stories. I'm sorry.
You go to the mall in Eretz Yisrael and you see a sukkah inside the mall.
Sukkah inside the mall. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I plead.
You have a shlach.
A shlach, I'll agree. The mall in the sukkah.
You ever seen it?
What we see in certain places, we don't need to talk about. Rav Shara, the sukkah without walls. It's a nice gesture. You know, they have 4 poles and they have schach. Where are the walls? They're there. They're there. I think if in those areas you could see things sometimes that aren't there. I think that might be the nikuda. Rav Sharalei. I was there visiting Talmidim Chaver. Don't get nervous, I was trying to pull them out of the bars, Rav.
About the 4 poles.
Yeah, something like that. Rav Sharlei the Ravacha Bar Ado Lemigna Bar Mitatlos. He allowed him to sleep outside of the sukkah. Misham Sircha Digar Gishta, the foul-smelling ground that the sukkah was on. Rava Latamei Damarava Mitztayer Potter Minasukah. Yes, the Gemara of Anantanan. Chaylim umisham she'em p'tur min hasukah. Chaylim mitztayer loy. The obvious implication of the Mishnah is only someone who is sick, but not one who is just in pain. Answers the Gemara. Amri chayle hu umisham shav p'turin. When one is sick, it's not a heter just for him. It's heter for he and its attendants, like we spoke out. Mitztayer hu pater misham shoy loy. And the obvious reason is when one who is sick, he needs the attendant. One who's just in pain, not. Now, why the guy with the headache and the eye ache is called a chayla that is attended is necessary. Maybe we don't fully understand what type of headache and eye ache it is. But that is the Gemara. And we continue from the two dots. New sugya. Your one is allowed to eat achilas arai, temporary eating outside of the sukkah. Vekam achilas arai. How much is achilas arai? Amar Rav Yosef. Tarti oitlas bei 2 or 3 eggs. By the way, this is a big Gemara. The Gemara says bei over here, beis yud ayin yud. This is one of the big rayas. It's a big discussion. I'm sure everyone has heard. Do you say beitzim or do you say bayim? Famous Yam Shel Shleima, famous Marshal, that when we talk about the food, we don't say beitzim, because beitzim is a derogatory term as a first body part, so we call it bayim. That's the way we say it, as we always want to talk B'lashon Naki. One of the rayas is from this Gemara. As we see, the Gemara speaks out the word without the tzadi, which is a startling fact. Tarti Yitzlas Bey. Armalei Abaye says Abaye to Rav Yosef, 2 or 3 eggs. Sometimes that's enough. You're full. So rather, Abaye gives a noob shot. What is a sudas arai that you're allowed to eat outside of the sukkah? Very good. Like we eat a little bit on the way to the shear. When we have a shear with food, we eat more than we have by a meal. Okay, listen, I guess we're not different.
At the shear, on the way.
Very good. You're saying, so they add a little bit so they can have more food at the shear.
It's the walking to the shear, like you grab a little thing.
And then when you get to the shear, there's more food. Yeah, about that. So I say that's what changed. So Ma'aseh Menachem, you know what we see from here? When we have a shear with food, there has to also be food outside. There's also be food outside. Have a little bit, a little taste on the way. Tana Rabbanon, chutz lesukkah. One is allowed to eat a temporary eating outside of the sukkah. Vein, but the penetrating line. Now let us sleep a temporary sleeping outside of the sukkah. My timer. Amar Ravashi Gizir Shema Yardum. You might fall into a big sleep. Amar Le'abayah Lo Detani Yoshin Shinas Arai B'Tefillin. What do you mean? You're allowed to sleep temporarily with your tefillin Avloi Shinas Keva. Why? Lecha Shema Yardum. Why are you afraid that your nap is going to turn into a full night's slumber? Because the case is when you're sleeping in your tefillin, someone's watching you. Asks, very good, you're watching the guy sleep. What if you fall your sleep? The shaymer. The first white line of Rabbi Yochanan. That is when you're allowed to take a nap in your tefillin, because it's impossible to fall into deep sleep. You fall into deep sleep, what's going to happen? You're going to fall flat on your face, and then you're going to, I hope, wake up. Rava Amar, in Kavalashina, new teretz. In Kavalashina, there's no such thing as Kavalashina, meaning, so when you're in a sukkah, even taking a nap is forbidden. Why? Because that nap might be enough for you. When you're in your tefillin, the nap itself isn't the problem. The problem is what it's going to come to. It's going to come to falling into deep sleep. It's going to come to going to be passing gas. So that's a different problem. But by a sukkah, we're more machmir, because even a nap could be without what you need at that moment. Says Rava, that is the reason why sukkah ini shina shina sarai. You're not take a nap outside of the sukkah. Tani chad. Now we have 3 braysos. Brayso number 1. Yoshim adam b'tefillin shina sarai avlo shinas kava. You're allowed to take a nap. Tani Yidach Brayso number 2. Ben Keva Ben Arai, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Tani Yidach Brayso number 3. Lo Keva Lo Arai, you're not allowed to do anything. Lo Ikasha. 1, 3, 2 answers the Gemara. Ha, Dinakle Biyade. When you're holding in your hand, then you're not allowed to do, 3, 1, 2. I said it wrong. You're holding in your hand, then what? Nothing. Why? Because you might drop it. Ha, Diminiach Bereshe. Ha, Diminiach Bereshe. 1 is on your head, then what are you allowed to do? That's 1. Then you're allowed to take a nap and not sleep. Very good. 1 is it's off your head next to your pillow with a sudar on top of it. Then you can do whatever you want. The kama shinas arai. What is temporary sleep? Tini ravim chazkol. The amount of time to walk 100 amos, not a long amount of time. Tanya nami achi, we learned in a brayso. Yashim b'tefillin v'raya kari. Someone who is sleeping in his tefillin and he sees kari as a seminal discharge. What does he do? So now he's tamei. So Eiches b'Ritzua, he goes onto the Ritzua, it's the straps, not. Ve'ena Eiches, as we turn over to Chavav and Beis. You do not hold on to the Biktzitza, the bayis, the house of the tefillin itself. Divrei Rabbi Yaakov, as the tefillin house itself, Rashi speaks out as a higher level of Kedusha. It has the Shem Hashem, it has the Shin on it. Eina Eiches Biktzitza, Divrei Rabbi Yaakov. Chacham Maimrim, Yashin Adam b'tefillin Shinas Harai, you're allowed to take a nap. Aval, Loi Shinas Kava, this is why we brought down this brayso, because what is a Shinas Harai? V'kam Shinas Harai? The amount of time to walk 100 amos. Amar Rav, continuing the theme of sleeping in your tefillin. Also Adam Lishan B'yayim. Excuse me, the theme of sleeping. Asam Adam Lishan B'yayim Yaiser. Pretty difficult line. Yoizer Mishinas Asos. You're not allowed to sleep more than the horse naps. So Mishinas Asos. Shita Nishmin 60 respirations. How much is that? We don't know, but it's definitely not a long amount of time. Amar Abaye Shinsei Damar. The sleep of Mar, his Rebbe, which is Rabbi Nachmani, is Kid Rav, and Rav is Kid Rebbe. The Rebbe is Kid David, and David is Kid Sosio, like his trusty horse. Udisosio Shita Nishmin. That's the optimal amount of time to sleep. Besides the Gemara, not everyone's holding on this level. Proof is Abaye himself. Now listen, we don't know. Abaye could have been up for like a week straight learning Torah. We don't know what's going on in Abaye's life. But there's a story, and usually when you have a story that he napped one time, what does that usually mean? You know, the Rav Elyashiv never dozed on his Gemara. So I'm going to say, one time he dozed. Okay, that just proves the point. When you have that one time, doesn't say about us. Yeah, you one time fell asleep. We do it every single day, at every single scenario. Hopefully not while we're driving, or at least at a red light. Abaye would sleep from the amount of time for B'dizah Be'Goyvi. Kariel Rav Yosef called about Abaye. Ad Masei Otzel Tishkav. How long is that lazy, not bum, lazy one, gonna sleep? Masei Toka Mishnasecha. When are you gonna get up from your sleep, Abaye? Tanarabanon. And obviously, for the fact the Gemara doesn't interpret what Abaye did, the answer is yeah, he did it. He did it. Rav Yosef called him lazy. Lamaisi took a nap. So we see that there's obviously levels in all of these things. Someone who wants a nap during the day, back to our tefillin. If you want to clean them on or not. We'll see what this means. You must take off your tefillin. Rav Yosef Omer, Hayeladim, which doesn't mean the kids, it means the young lads, the teenagers, we'll call them. It has to always take it off, even by a nap. They can't leave it on. Why? Because they're rugged to have tuma. We don't know what that means yet. So says the Gemara, you know what it sounds like Rav Yossi holds? It sounds like Rav Yossi holds, tefillin. And that's why Rav Yossi says that the teenagers shouldn't take a nap with their tefillin because they're going to become a Baal Kari. So they shouldn't do it. So now we have a Raya, explains Rashi, to the Shaila and Kol HaShas, that is a Baal Kari allowed to wear tefillin. Seemingly we have a Raya from Rav Yossi. And says, and it's even a bigger Raya because we know that the halacha is always like Rav Yossi, explains Rashi, as we know, Nemuka Imai, the Svaras with Rav Yossi. Amar Abaye, it's snapshot. But Yeladim, Unishayseim Imayan. It's talking about not just a teenager, it's talking about a young married guy that his wife is with him, Askinon. So the Chiddush Rav Yossi is he's not even allowed to take a nap with his wife because Shem Yavle Dei Hargul Davar. That's what he's adding on. The Tanakama said the nap by the day is not a problem, it's only a night. Rav Yossi is adding on even during the day. Tanarabanan, Shalchach, Hashim Shubdas, until let's say someone forgot. You should not hold on a little bit or two, and out the straps, a little bit seats, and out the bayis itself. Until you wash your hands, because it's a real tama. The yitlam mimnei she'edayin askani seems because your hands could have touched anything. Shkoyach.